The ultimate rich neighborhood asset war has officially turned into a total disaster zone, shaking the entire luxury real estate market because Jennifer Lopez is trying to pull off a massive financial heist in the middle of a historic celebrity meltdown. Secret moves to lock down a multi-million-dollar property at a shocking price have finally been exposed through verified paper trails. The receipts show she is attempting to exploit a messy legal trap to secure a 45% discount on one of the largest homes in California, but the true nightmare extends far beyond the price tag or the court battle. Standing directly next door to an active federal crime target, this massive property places her right in the line of fire. The contract proves that the legendary $55 million estate in Holmby Hills has become the target of the most aggressive lowball offer in Hollywood history. Jennifer Lopez intends to claim this 30,000-square-foot mansion as her ultimate comeback pad following her highly publicized divorce. Featuring 14 bedrooms, 25 bathrooms, and a private infinity pool, the massive compound represents the peak of luxury. Instead of meeting the staggering asking price, she is cornering the desperate sellers with a lowball bid of just $30 million because she knows the house is trapped in a brutal financial war. The property belongs to the family of the late fashion designer Max Azria, but right now the entire perimeter is a legal war zone. Billionaire investor Ron Burkle believed he secured the house at an auction for $30 million earlier this year, but everything collapsed into chaos immediately after the bidding closed. Max Azria's widow, lowball, faced a massive lawsuit from Burkle for an alleged breach of contract, which completely froze the estate in court. This legal disaster explains exactly why the property value is plummeting to the ground. Jennifer Lopez saw this massive disaster as the perfect moment to strike, bypassing standard real estate agents to talk directly to both warring sides to force her own terms. Having used the property to film her movie Atlas and touring it years ago while attempting to save her marriage, she knows the layout perfectly. Now she wants to seize the home for herself at a fraction of the cost while the current owners destroy each other in court. But this calculated business move has exposed a terrifying connection that she cannot escape. This multi-million-dollar mansion shares an exact property line with Diddy Combs, meaning that while Diddy remains trapped in a career meltdown over massive federal charges, his neighbor's yard is becoming a battlefield. Diddy is currently desperate to unload his own neighboring property for $61 million in a massive asset fire sale. Federal investigators, legal teams, and continuous chaos surround the entire block. By trying to buy the estate, Jennifer Lopez is choosing to move her family directly next door to an active crime scene investigation. The financial forensics show that this is the worst possible timing for a major real estate play, especially with Diddy losing his entire empire as his dark secrets are exposed to the public. His global power has completely evaporated, transforming his properties into toxic assets that nobody wants to touch. The entire neighborhood of Holmby Hills is under a microscope because of his massive legal downfall, and if Jennifer Lopez closes this deal, her front yard will look directly into the windows of a disgraced mogul who is headed to prison. The contract proves that the legal battle between Ron Burkle and lowball Azria is getting nastier by the day, with Burkle refusing to back down from his winning auction bid while lowball fights to protect her family assets. Jennifer Lopez is trying to play both sides against the middle to secure her $30 million price, using the chaos of the Diddy investigation to argue that the neighborhood value is crashing. Her legal team is using every single piece of leverage to force Ron Burkle into accepting the massive discount. But what happened next was even more shocking for the entire luxury market, as real estate insiders realized that buying this house means inheriting a permanent public nightmare. The property line between the Azria Estate and Diddy's mansion is completely open to security threats. The receipts show that Diddy's house was raided by federal agents who smashed through the gates and seized hard drives, blocking the entire street with armored vehicles and heavily armed law enforcement. Jennifer Lopez is trying to buy a home where the next-door neighbors are currently preparing for a historic criminal trial. The truth is finally out about why she is risking her reputation for this specific property after her financial advisors told her that getting a $25 million discount in Holmby Hills is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. She believes she can clean up the image of the street once Diddy is permanently locked away behind bars. She wants to use her massive wealth to dominate the block and turn the property into a fortress, but her aggressive tactics have caused a massive backlash among the elite billionaires who live on the exact same street. Other famous neighbors like Tom Ford and Sean Parker are watching this disaster unfold with absolute horror, refusing to tolerate a massive court battle over the Azria Estate right next to a federal criminal investigation. The entire area has become a nightmare for high net worth individuals who pay for absolute privacy. The endless legal filings from the Burkle lawsuit are exposing the private financial details of the neighborhood, and the court documents show exactly how much money is being lost as the properties sit empty. The receipts show that Jennifer Lopez has taken multiple secret tours of the mansion over the last few weeks to check the security perimeter, remaining obsessed with making sure the property can be fully locked down from the public eye. But no amount of security cameras can hide the fact that her ex-boyfriend's empire is burning down right next door. Their past relationship is already being dragged back into the spotlight by federal prosecutors, and moving onto his exact block makes her look like she is trapped in his orbit forever. The legal trap is tightening around every single person involved in this deal, as Ron Burkle's legal team refuses to sign off on any deal that lets Jennifer Lopez walk away with a 45% discount. They are arguing in court that the true value of the estate is still $55 million despite the neighborhood drama. Lowball is caught in the middle, desperate to settle the lawsuit but refusing to be lowballed by a pop star, leaving the entire negotiation completely stuck in limbo while the lawyers bill millions of dollars in fees. The truth is Jennifer Lopez cannot afford another massive public failure after her recent career setbacks, including a canceled tour, a collapsed marriage, and heavy pressure on her business deals. She needs this real estate victory to prove she still has ultimate power in Hollywood, wanting to show the world that she can play hardball with billionaire investors and win. But her desperation to close the deal is making her blind to the massive risks of the location. The contract proves that if she signs the final paperwork, she becomes legally responsible for a property that is tied to multiple ongoing scandals. If the court rules that Ron Burkle's auction bid was valid, her negotiations will be completely worthless. She will have spent months trying to manipulate a lawsuit just to get blocked at the finish line. And the legal forensics show that her team is running out of time to force a settlement before the next major court hearing. Meanwhile, the situation at Diddy's house is getting more dangerous every single day as his legal team tries to sell the mansion to pay for his massive defense fees and mounting civil lawsuits. The house is a toxic asset, and major buyers are completely refusing to look at it, meaning the entire property stands as a symbol of a total career meltdown that cannot be fixed. Jennifer Lopez is trying to build her new life on a foundation of chaos and criminal fallout. The receipts prove that her lowball strategy might completely backfire if another buyer steps in with more cash. There are international billionaires who are willing to pay the full price just to own a piece of historic Hollywood real estate. If she keeps pushing for a 45% discount, the sellers might walk away from her completely, meaning she is risking her dream home because she refuses to pay market value. During a crisis, the truth is finally out about the hidden costs of a secret deal, which extend far beyond the $30 million down payment or the legal fees for the contract. It is about the total destruction of her privacy and security in a neighborhood that has become a media circus. Every single move she makes on that property will be watched by investigators and paparazzi who are tracking the Diddy investigation, meaning she will never have peace in a mansion that sits next door to a fallen mogul's empire. The final receipts show that the negotiation is reaching a breaking point this week as the lawyers for Ron Burkle and Lowball Azria prepare for a massive showdown in front of a judge. Jennifer Lopez has to decide if she will raise her bid or let the property go to someone else, since her aggressive play has pushed the entire situation to the absolute edge of collapse. She thought she was the ultimate master manipulator of Hollywood real estate, but she walked straight into a legal trap. The architecture of this disaster belongs entirely to the celebrities who thought their wealth made them untouchable. Jennifer Lopez tried to exploit a messy lawsuit to get a cheap mansion, but she ended up tying herself to the biggest criminal scandal of the decade. Her desperate attempt to save money has exposed her true financial vulnerability to The entire world, the dream of a fresh start in Holmby Hills, is officially dead, replaced by a permanent legal nightmare, and the cost of her greed and her connection to a broken empire is a price she will be paying for the rest of her career.